Namaste. I welcome everyone to this special event. We are having today the online function for the Sun-Eyed Children Award 2025. Let us begin with invocation and devotional music in the melodious voice of Dr. Mithupa.
सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। शांति शांति शांति। असतो मा सद्गमय असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय 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 मृत्योर्मा अमृतम गमय अमृतम गमय अमृतम गमय अमृतम गमय। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। श्री अरविंद सभक्ति प्रणाम श्री अरविंद सभक्ति प्रणाम। अति मानस के ज्योतित सरसिज दिव्य जगत जीवन के वरद्विज चिदानंद के स्वर्णिम मनसिज चिदानंद के स्वर्णिम मनसिज ज्योति धाम सज्ञान प्रणाम ज्योति धाम सज्ञान प्रणाम। श्री अरविंद सभक्ति प्रणाम श्री अरविंद सभक्ति प्रणाम। दिव्य तुम्हारा परम तपोबल अमृत ज्योति से भर दे भूतल। दिव्य तुम्हारा परम तपोबल अमृत ज्योति से भर दे भूतल। सफल मनोरथ सृष्टि हो सकल सफल मनोरथ साथ सृष्टि हो सकल, श्री ललाम निष्काम प्रणाम, श्री ललाम निष्काम प्रणाम, श्री अरविंद सभक्ति प्रणाम, श्री अरविंद सभक्ति प्रणाम। विश्वात्मा के नव विकास तुम, परम चेतना के प्रकाश तुम, विश्वात्मा के नव विकास तुम, परम चेतना के प्रकाश तुम, ज्ञान भक्ति के श्री के विलास तुम, ज्ञान भक्ति श्री के विलास तुम, पूर्ण प्रकाम सकर्म प्रणाम, पूर्ण प्रकाम सकर्म प्रणाम, श्री अरविंद सभक्ति प्रणाम, श्री अरविंद सभक्ति प्रणाम। अति मानस के ज्योतित सरसिज, दिव्य जगत जीवन के वर द्विज, चिदानंद के स्वर्णिम मनसिज, चिदानंद के स्वर्णिम मनसिज, ज्योति धाम सज्ञान प्रणाम, ज्योति धाम सज्ञान प्रणाम, श्री अरविंद सभक्ति प्रणाम, श्री अरविंद सभक्ति प्रणाम, श्री अरविंद सभक्ति प्रणाम।
I now invite and request Dr. Ramesh Bijlani sir to address the audience and share a little about the YES project and the Sun-Eyed Children Award.
Thank you, Arunima. Let me start with congratulating the winner of the Sun-Eyed Children Award today, Shivani Gupta. And also, it may look like a coincidence, but I'm sure it's more than a coincidence that she's getting this award on the Women's Day. Now, about the YES Project. YES Project is a small contribution to Sri Aurobindo and the mother's futuristic vision. And although most of you are familiar with it, but for good order, let me repeat what that vision is. This world, that is the world on the planet Earth, is a special place. Probably nowhere else, in no other world, we have the extremes of good and evil and a lot in between coexisting. And therefore, we see extremes of good, which inspires us, amazes us, and also extremes of evil, which sends us into a mood of disgust. But by and large, the world functions on the basis of neither of these extremes. It functions on the basis of what lies in between, or what might be considered the average. And that average is determined by the average level of consciousness. Because we are all potentially divine, we are all inherently divine, but how much of that divinity we express depends upon the level of consciousness. And the average level of consciousness for thousands of years has been such that the average person has been ego driven. His tendency has been to see the separation between individuals as a lasting and final reality, and therefore the attitude has been me first. And that, in fact, is at the root of all evil and misery and suffering in the world. But then, just because it has been so for thousands of years doesn't mean that it will always be so. Sri Aurobindo and the mother were pioneers among the spiritual masters in seeing that the evolutionary thrust, which has always been there, and there's no reason to assume that it has stopped, the evolutionary thrust now has reached a point where very soon the average level of human consciousness will go up. And the human nature will change so that instead of being ego driven, human nature will now be love driven, love which is inspired by a sense of oneness rather than by a sense of separation or division. And that will be the ultimate solution to all the problems of human existence. That is what will make the world a much better place to live in. But then, while the evolutionary thrust by itself will ensure it, uh, there has to be a process, and human beings can also play a role in it, because human being is the only creature on earth who has the aspiration to evolve in his own lifetime and also the capacity to do it. So human beings can collaborate with nature in shifting the average level of human consciousness upwards, and how they can contribute to it is by larger number of people engaging in a conscious process of spiritual evolution, engaging in it consciously. Now, the world will change, but then the evolutionary thrust will also ensure that more and more individuals will arrive in this world at a higher level of consciousness, so that they will have sort of this program for being different type of individuals pre-installed in them. But then they will also require some updates while they are on the earth, and the updates will be in the form of various inputs that they get at home, in the school, in the from the environment, and so on and so forth. And therefore, the uh, individuals who understand this process can play some role in inspiring others, inspiring particularly those who have arrived in this world with that higher level of consciousness, so that they are the ones who will usher in that better world. So the better world will be ushered in by the newborns, the youngsters, those who are growing up, those who are the future of the world. So, while it's a cliche to say that youth are the future of the world and therefore they are important, in Sri Aurobindo and the mother's vision, that acquires a special value, because after all, they are the ones who are going to usher in this new world, and we can do our bit to spot them, to encourage them, and to guide them, and to uh, help them and support them in any way we can. So the Yes Project is designed from that point of view. Its focus is on the youth, and this is the idea behind it. Of course, it's a mega project. Changing the world is not a small project. But then, believing that every drop counts, we are trying to do our bit. And the way we are doing it is by trying to have programs which suit particularly the young people, having some awards and fellowships which you learn something about, which will encourage them and which will help us spot them. And also, because they are likely to behave differently as compared to the others, the world may not understand them. So we are trying to understand them, providing them that uh, support, that assurance that at least somebody understands them. And if they have special difficulty because of this, sometimes they themselves may not be sure whether they are right, or it is the rest of the world that is calling them stupid or good for nothing. Is that world right? So to guide them when they are going through this type of an existential crisis, we have also organized a highly subsidized counseling service for them. So these are some of the things that we are trying to do. And with this, now what I'll do is I'll turn specially to today's award and tell you something about the Sun-Eyed Children Award. And for that, I'll share the screen. And this is where the expression the sun-eyed children comes from. I saw them, Sri Aurobindo and Savitri says, I saw them cross the twilight of an age, the sun-eyed children of a marvelous dawn. The great creators with wide brows of calm, the massive barrier breakers of the world, and wrestlers with destiny in her lists of will. The laborers in the quarries of the gods, the messengers of the incommunicable, the architects of immortality. So he could see, he could visualize, with his mystic vision, uh, the children coming, the children who are prepared, who are coming here well prepared to usher in that new world. And when are they coming? At the twilight of an age, when one era is giving way to another, and at that junction, like the junction between the night and the day, during dawn, when just that transition is taking place. In the same way, here the transition is from one era to another, the era where the ego has been predominating to an era where love will predominate. He could see them coming. And what type of children were they? He has called them the sun-eyed children, with that sparkle in their eyes, which indicated the extent to which they were already awake to a higher truth. The sun-eyed children of a marvelous dawn. It will be indeed a marvelous dawn, which will usher in a new world. These are the great creators with wide brows of calm. There's intensity, but there's no impatience. They are calm. They know it's a mega project. It will take time. So they have that calm attitude of great creators. No great creation happens with impatience or in a great hurry. But then to usher in this new world, they would have to differ from the rest of the world, uh, break many barriers, be non-conformists, say to put it in simple neutral terms. They will not be too eager to conform and behave the way the rest of the world does. They will be, in fact, original and have the courage to break the barriers, break those conventions. Just because something has happened in a particular way for hundreds of years will not be enough reason for them to go on repeating history. They will be the massive barrier breakers of the world. And because if you have to have a new order, the old order has to be broken down, and they will have that courage to do it. So, in a way, they will be wrestlers, warriors. They will have that strength to fight the old order, fight in a figurative sense, and they will have the destiny of the world in the lists of will, and they'll be laborers in the quarries of the gods. Uh, they'll unearth what lies in future, what is lying hidden right now, and they'll bring the message from the incommunicable, the one who is beyond description, the divine. They'll be the architects of immortality. They'll be the one who will take us from death to immortality. Mrityorma amritam gamaya. So these are the sun-eyed children. And let's see how in the YES project we try to identify them and encourage them. The Sun-Eyed Children Award is an annual prize instituted by the YES Spirituality Trust. The eligibility is age 40 or below, but then this is somewhat arbitrary. Uh, Even if somebody is slightly above age 40, that will not be by itself a bar. The important thing is what the person has done. And these are individuals who follow their passion to build a career taking an unconventional path. Uh, they are willing to earn less. They are willing to face all the ridicule that they might face from the family and friends and the peer group. But if they are sure that there is something that aligns with their inclinations and passions and we can also make a difference to the world, they are quite willing to take an unconventional path while building up a career. And this they do because their aims and aspirations are high and wide, generous and disinterested. Within quotes, because this is an expression of the mother. And if you look at it a little carefully, all these four, high, wide, generous, and disinterested, basically point to looking beyond one's own little self. Because when you look at things from a higher plane, you see more of oneness than division. And that gives a width to that vision because your vision is very broad. You are seeing all creation as one, so that has not only height but also width. And once you have that vision, we can see that oneness, you become generous. You are willing to give generously what you have to those who need it. And all this you are doing not for the sake of the little self, that is personal interest. In that sense, it is disinterested. So we are looking beyond their little self. These are the individuals, and this they do because they want to make a difference to the world. Because when they have this type of a name, high and wide, generous and disinterested, naturally they'll end up creating a better world. The prize carries a certificate, a nominal amount of rupees 10,000, and a set of books. The award last year was conferred on Shubhangi Ghosh, who was then 25, and she has an MTech in biotechnology. She has chosen to work with the underprivileged in 104 villages across Chhattisgarh in Chhattisgarh, and is the founder of Sustainable India. This year's award is being conferred on Shivani Gupta, age 39. She's a graduate in mass communication. She has experienced the bustling corporate corridors of Delhi, but after marriage, she joined her husband's business. The turning point in her life came when she was in a restaurant, perhaps, and in Rishikesh, and she saw that the restaurant waiter was offering a yoga teacher training course. So, as an Indian, she could easily appreciate the authenticity of yoga and see that this waiter will not be able to provide authentic yoga, but probably it was some foreigners whom he was trying to impress and tell them that, well, he can also teach them how to teach yoga. So, she thought as an Indian, she could see it, but how about the foreigners? So, and she also knew that in contrast, India's exceptional yoga teachers were not receiving the global recognition they deserved. So, this little incident, apparently small incident, ended up being a turning point in her life, and a pivotal decision was made. She stepped away from the family business, harnessed the power of social media to, because that she already had in light of her educational background, all the experience she had in the corporate sector while doing jobs and internships and so on, and also in her husband's or family business. So all that had taught her the skills necessary. So used that those skills uh, to spotlight authentic yoga teachers, their centers, and their classes. And she found that the response was overwhelming from all over the world. And that is how she ended up launching HelloMyYoga in 2017, which is today a thriving digital education platform. What HelloMyYoga does is to bridge the gap between India's rich yoga heritage and spiritual seekers worldwide. And it offers online classes, short term workshops, and specialized teacher training courses on various traditional knowledge systems. So you can see what a remarkable person she is, and how, while she's yet not 40, uh, she'll be 40 this year, uh, she has already made a major shift in her career and launched on a career from which she is unlikely to look back, and, if anything, continue more and more. And we wish her all the blessings of the Mother and Sri Aurobindo to develop further for her mission to uh, keep growing and keep benefiting more and more. So with this, I'll stop here, and we'll go to the conferment of the award itself.
Heartiest congratulations, Shivani. We now request you to address this audience gathered today to celebrate your amazing work.
Thank you, Arunima. And thank you, Dr. Ramesh Pichlani. And thank you, Yes Spirituality, for recognizing my initiative and conferring upon me the Sun-Eyed Children Award. I've always worked behind the scenes, creating programs, designing programs. But however, Yes Spirituality has always given me platform to speak, to speak on the stage. And unlike my last session where I used a presentation to share my core beliefs. But due to the tied up activities I had in this week, so I just have noted jotted down few of the points which I would like to discuss as a life lessons which I learned during this journey. So the life lessons which I'll be sharing is actually that I have learned in this journey, and it has got me helped me to bring Hello My Yoga so far. So the first pointer is hard work. There is no shortcut as an entrepreneur. There is no shortcut to hard work. There are a lot of people I see these days who leave their 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. job saying that they want to do something of their own. They want to escape from that entire modality. But honestly speaking, as an entrepreneur, you have to work more hard. You have to work equivalent to 3 to 4 employees, whatever suits to you. Working early in the morning or working till late. You are actually working more and more as compared what you work in any corporate. And that too without salary. Maybe if you are withdrawing salary, that will be peanuts, but yes. So there is no shortcut to hard work. Then second point is stay open and flexible. So be open to all kinds of opportunities. As an entrepreneur, I have felt that when you enter into an ecosystem, you think that this is the blue draft. I have created something and I'll just follow to create the entire company enterprise of this. But it never happened that way. You have to keep evolving. You have to keep looking for the opportunity. When I started Hello My Yoga, I started just as an aggregator. We had traffic who wanted to understand when they are traveling to India where they can go and participate, where they can do their teacher training courses. So we were just collecting the authentic yoga teacher training courses where it is happening, listing on our website, sharing with the traffic. And then COVID happened. None of us were prepared for it. Even Hello My Yoga, that just started from a shoestring budget, was not also prepared for it. Traffic started dipping off. Therefore, we realized there's an opportunity of doing webinars, live Zoom events, and from there we turned into a digital education platform. And eventually, then we realized that there is a huge gap in integrated life science programs, and therefore we started with a specialized long-term programs where we are actually giving integrated life science programs. So I always say, stay open, stay flexible. If you'll go with that rigidity, no, I have decided this is my idea, I'll just build my company on this idea, you're not able to evolve or grow. So this is always the journey of evolution, that you have to stay flexible. My third life lesson is setback. Setback always happens. People might fail you, system might make you false promises, your own planning strategy will fail. But that doesn't mean that game overs there itself. It is not end of the life. The business or your company is not ending there. I always say that don't lose heart. Just dust off that failure. Once again, start your journey. Do not think that failure is everything. I always say that failure is actually your technique for future success. So study your failure well. So that's why Do not treat setback as end of the game. It is the future journey. It is the mantra for future success. Then the fourth lesson is your positive tribe. Stay close to your family, friends, siblings, spouse, partner, because these people, during your journey, they might question or challenge your choices when you are pursuing an unconventional career. But that doesn't mean they doubt you. They don't doubt you. It's just that they have seen you at a stable position where you had a stable job, where you had salary. But keep working hard. Do not just acknowledge them. Do not get weakened with their statements or what they are saying, because when you will be successful, they'll be the first one, first of the first to cheer for you. So this is a very important lesson, that stay intact with your positive tribe. My next lesson, life lesson, the fifth life lesson is self love. Do not burn yourself. What happens is, when we are pursuing a goal, when we are in this journey of entrepreneurship, we always say, when I'll achieve this milestone, then I'll celebrate. Why? Cadbury's tagline has also said, "Choti choti khushiyon mein dil mare chala." Why not we celebrate our small wins? So I keep celebrating my small wins because I disheartened with with whatever challenges I come. So I make sure that I make give myself that feel good factor as well. I celebrate my small wins as well. And also in Indian society, we have been conditioned that ways. The children has been conditioned that ways, that if you'll get good grades, you're gonna get that bicycle. So that's why we also, when we are in this journey of entrepreneurship or in a career growth, we always say that, okay, when I'll achieve that milestone, I'm gonna celebrate. No, I make sure that I celebrate my small wins as well. Then the sixth life lesson is, money is a tool, but not the goal. So I always say that when we are pursuing a especially unconventional career, the financial viabilities are very limited or almost equivalent to nil in the initial years. But once you see that things starts getting streamlined, then you should start working on the financial viabilities also, and it is very, very important. Why is it so? Because you are there for the passion. You are driving that company with the passion, but the team back behind you, which is supporting you, they are not there for the passion. They are feeding their family with what kind of salary you are giving them. So you are responsible to them. So make sure that you keep looking for financial viabilities. Seventh point, which is very close to me, the power of the mind. Uh, in Hindi, we have man ke hare haar hai, man ke jeete jeet. So this is very important. There will be point of time when marketing strategies will not work, when people will not respond to your emails. But that doesn't mean that you'll fall down. I always say that I'm not just an entrepreneur, I'm a yoga entrepreneur. So for me in my life, yoga happened first and then entrepreneurship. And that's why I'm blessed that I know staying patient in challenging times, also staying committed, staying disciplined. I still go back to that time when COVID happened and we started losing traffic. So imagine all my savings went in building that traffic, and every day, every week by week, I was seeing how we are losing traffic, and I didn't know what to do. But every morning I used to come on the screen, open my inbox and start working. So that's what the spirit is. If you are failed from here, you are failed. But if you are not, you will keep working hard to strive it. And I don't strive for perfectionist. I strive for excellence. So yes, the power of the mind is the greatest tool. And also, I always say that in this journey, I have read a lot of times Bhagavad Gita, but in this journey as an entrepreneur, I go back to that Krishna's thing, Nishkarm Karma. That has, when you are an entrepreneur and you are working on your passionate job, on your passionate project, you're so absorbed in each and every moment, in the each and every process, that you don't care about the results. You leave it on the universe. And at this point of time, when I'm working on different levels of Hello My Yoga, I realize that I'm so much absorbed in everything that sometimes the reservoir is getting empty each day, but it's okay. We know that universe will take care of it because I have given my best. Last is dream with open eyes. That's a very important lesson because that will help you to evolve also. That will help you to sustain also and scale also. Keep looking for opportunities. When my father was undergoing treatment in one of the finest institute of Cancer Institute of India, I was there with him for 3 months and I constantly observed what is happening in the medical facility. And at that point of time, I felt that medical facility is collapsing, not because we do not have quality doctors. We have best of the best doctors. Not because we do not have strategies well placed. We have best of the strategies. Then what is which is not working? Because we have overwhelming population. We are most populated country. So then what? So at that point of time, I went back, I sat with different yoga teachers. I sat with doctors who have adopted yoga as their profession. I worked on different alternate therapies. I worked on different researches, and I came up with this specialized yoga teacher training courses. So these specialized yoga teacher training courses, which we have last year only launched, with only reason that we'll train yoga scholars, yoga instructors, yoga therapists. Why? Because we want that they further teach to their clients, to their students, this kind of toolkit which they can apply in their life. And this daily application helps them in treating not the uh, not the disease, but it works like more like a precaution. Because what I have realized is medical treatment comes into the picture when people start suffering. So why not to let them give a toolkit because of which they don't suffer, or they keep that suffering process bit away from them, or that elongated, they delay the process of that suffering. So that's why we came up these kinds of integrative lifestyle medicine toolkits, and we started training these yoga trainers so that they train their clients and audiences. And and then I realized that once the people are trained well, they can create their own blue zone, the zone of longevity, fulfilling life, more positive and healthy life. And this entire thing can be passed down to the generations. So this is what Hello My Yoga has done so far. And I have, as an entrepreneur, as a founder, learned all these lessons. And I thought that this can be the best stage, best platform to share. And that's why I took an opportunity. Thank you so much. This is my say for today. Thank you, Dr. Ananda, for being here.
Thank you so much, Shivani. It is really inspiring getting to know your journey, and we are grateful for the personal life lessons that you shared with all of us. We will now watch a short video giving information on various awards and fellowships instituted by the Yes Spirituality Trust.
Yes, we are keen to spot and support passionate youngsters. That the youth of today are the future of tomorrow is a hackneyed expression. But in the light of Sri Aurobindo's and the Mother's vision, it acquires a unique meaning, which adds to it also a sense of urgency. In the light of their vision, the youth becomes the agents of a radical change in human nature, which in turn will make the world free of sorrow and suffering in the very near future. In the light of their vision, more and more young people will arrive in the world equipped to usher in the radical change that will fill the world with love, peace and joy in the very near future. While such young people will arrive with software for world transformation pre-installed, they may be happy to get regular updates. That is what the awards, fellowship and scholarships instituted by the Yes Spirituality Trust essentially are meant to be. The Sun-Eyed Children Award, an annual award for young persons up to the age of 30 to encourage those who follow their passion to build a career taking an unconventional path in life, because Their aims and aspirations are high and wide, generous and disinterested, to use a profound expression of the mother. For these barrier breakers of the world, the award would consist of a certificate, 10,000 rupees in cash, plus a set of books. The first award has been conferred on Miss Shubhangi Ghosh. The Sunlit Path Award, open to the age group of 10 to 25 years, would be based on a competition that invites essays, paintings and videos that are in tune with the aims and objectives of the YES project. Every entry that meets certain standards of excellence would earn an award. The award would consist of cash prizes ranging from 1,000 rupees to 5,000 rupees and a set of books. The Project Consciousness Fellowship. The fellowship is open to 22 to 45-year-olds who are passionate about something meaningful to do in life, but need a little financial support to indulge in their passion. The Project Consciousness Fellowship Award carries a stipend of 10,000 rupees per month up to a period of 1 year. The Spiritual Renaissance of India Scholarship. The scholarship is open to 14 to 22-year-old school or college students who have some spare time to indulge their passions, such as studying, research or social work, which would help the society, particularly its underprivileged or vulnerable sections. The Spiritual Renaissance of India Scholarship carries a stipend of 5,000 rupees per month up to a period of 1 year. For inquiries about the various awards, please drop an email to yes@yesspirituality.com and yes.arunmap@gmail.com.
Now I request Dr. Bijlani sir to share some details on our upcoming award competition, that is Sunlit Path Award 2025.
This is something that requires submission of entries by the participants, and therefore they need time. We started the publicity already for the 2025 awards, and these entries can come in anytime by the end of June this year. I'll share the details through a presentation. But before I do that, let me compliment Shivani on many points. I'm so glad that she did not have time to prepare a PowerPoint presentation because what she spoke came straight from the heart, and that was much more effective, I think, and much more valuable than a formal presentation using a PowerPoint presentation. So, in a way, her staying busy today with the Women's Day celebrations uh, helped bring out the best from her. And I'll not go over all the points which she made so generously and so beautifully, which can help each one of us in lives in one way or the other. Uh, but I have known her for only a brief period, but during this brief period, she has been very kind to me. And every time she meets, she takes great interest in what the YES project is doing, which way it is going, and how it can expand further. She has been the one who uh, sort of made me conscious of the difference between YouTube and other media like Instagram. And she said, well, YouTube is fine. You can focus on that, but that is now like a college. But then you also need Instagram to catch the attention of the younger people, and then those who are interested in something, they can always turn to YouTube. So and then she, because she's well equipped with the techniques as well as uh, jargon and uh, the how all these things can grow and expand. Then she feeds me with that, and then I sound as if I'm very well informed about the current trends, and then try to pressurize my team to also do those things which she advises me. So
Sir, I would just say it's always two ways. When I come and see you, it's also a dinner date with you or a lunch date with you, because on that dates, um, if I am giving you this kind of petty advices, you give me a big, more better advices that how to maintain my mental health in throughout this process. So I'll not say that it is only one way. It's always a dialogue which we engages in.
You
And thank
forgot
you
the
so,
mango
so
date. Yeah? You forgot the mango date.
yes. So the mango dates have been so far the best ones.
When you the mango season is coming, so you can come again.
Totally, sir. Looking forward to it.
So now let me share the screen to tell you something about the Sunlit Path Awards. So, as in the case of the Sunlight Children's Award, the expression sunlit path also comes from Sri Aurobindo's Savitri. It's interesting that uh, walking the path of yoga is not as difficult as it's sometimes imagined, but most people are not willing to do it. Uh, as he says in Savitri somewhere else, that rare is the call of heaven, rarer still are those who pay heed to it. So it seems that we have to come sort of prepared as a result of the homework done in previous lives to be ready for it. And then, because we are most comfortable with the way much of the world is living, and the way we are also geared more towards taking care of our physical and emotional health rather than of our spiritual health, um, we feel that, well, probably that is the, if not the best, at least the safest thing to do. We are scared of jumping on a consciously, uh, headlong consciously on the spiritual path. And that's why sometimes the progress is slow. Progress could be much faster if you walked the sunlit path, as he calls it. And as you know, he says in the essays on the Gita, why we tend to do it is because it's something like, he's given a beautiful analogy that when you're living at sea level, you know that the air is polluted. The air will be much cleaner at high altitude, but then the air also has lower pressure there. So we are afraid of breathing in that rarer atmosphere of the higher altitudes. And that is why we are scared to go there. Otherwise, the so-called ordinary normal life, is that any less difficult than that? That has so much difficulty, and yet we are putting up with it, but we get scared of breathing that rarer air of the higher altitudes, and that's why we don't do it. So here in these lines, he says, yes, there are happy ways near to God's sun. You can turn to the full light of the sun, which is the brightest thing available to us. So there are happy ways to turn to the sun and get close to it, but few are they who tread the sunlit path, the path which has been illumined by that best and brightest of lights. We are not willing to walk on that. Compared to that, we are quite happy to walk on a torch-lit path, which shows just the next few feet rather than the entire path right up to the goal. So only the pure in soul can walk in light, which means you essentially come prepared with a certain development of the psychic being, so that the soul is pure, and then that strong sunlight serves as serves us to find the path, to walk the path rather than dazzle us. So it's here from where the sunlit path comes. Few are they who tread the sunlit path. The Sunlit Path Awards is again an annual competition instituted by the Yes Spirituality Trust. The eligibility is rather broad, 10 to 25 years. And again, the range is only indicative, not absolutely strict. We can always deviate a couple of years this way or that way if there is a deserving entry. What the participants have to do is to submit an essay or a poem or a story or a painting or a video or any other form of creative uh, material. Uh, and last year it was only in the English language. Now we have a little wider reach, and therefore we have opened it up to other languages, a few other languages, and the list of these languages might grow over the next few months because we have some uh, uh, people who are very much into integral yoga uh, and spirituality uh, spread across the world, and they have agreed to uh, spread it in their regions. And then when there are entries, they'll also help us evaluate those entries. So the entries may be submitted in Hindi, English, Spanish, Portuguese, or German, and the list is likely to grow. All entries that meet a certain standard of excellence, not perfection, as Shivani said. We aim at excellence, not at perfection. So all entries that meet a certain standard of excellence will win a prize. So in that sense, it is not really a competition. The winners would get certificates, a set of books, and a nominal amount ranging from 1,000 rupees to 5,000 rupees, depending upon the recommendation of the evaluators. But this would be the money would be given only to the winners from India because of logistic reasons. And this amount or whatever, somewhat comparable amount will in any case get spent when we send the certificate and a set of books by courier to the winners from other countries. The topic this year is uh, why are sincerity and gratitude key virtues? And if I have to choose between them, which one would I choose and why? The entries may be sent by email to yes@yesspirituality.com and yes.arunima p. You've seen Arunima and you'll see still more of her today. She's always there at the anchor for the Yes Talks every Saturday. And her email is easy to remember, Arunima, P for Pathak, or Arun means sun. No, that is sunlit path. Arun itself means sun, and she's telling you that she's the one who maps it for you. Arun, I map at gmail.com. The last date is the 30th of June, 2025. And on the same emails, you may also ask for any details, further details about the competition and send any questions about the competition. These are the winners of the last year's uh, Sunlit Path Awards competition. Adrika Maji I'll talk about them one by one in alphabetical order. Adrika Maji, aged just 12 years, country Canada. The entries were a story and a painting titled Rosie's Sunlit Meditations. This is the painting that she had sent. The child meditating on the mother to get rid of all the negativity such as uh, jealousy and depression and madness and anger and so on. And this meditation is with the mother in her heart is helping her drive these negativities out. Chaitanya Seth, age just 14, country Germany. The entries were an essay titled How Sri Aurobindo Has Influenced Me. And at this young age, and Sri Aurobindo's poetry is not always very easy to understand, he's he's a fan of Sri Aurobindo's poetry. And he also sent a photograph. This is the photograph that he sent. And here what he has done is he's meditating on one of Sri Aurobindo's poems, which Sri Aurobindo's collected poems, and that book open in front of him, as if. And how is this book here? He divulged the secret that he had tied the book very, very fine strings somewhere in the ceiling, probably to the ceiling fan. And that's how, and then got this picture. Then the next one is Kavya, uh, 23, and she submitted an essay titled A Life Charmed by Grace. Manan Dalip, 24-year-old from India, and for a painting titled Sri Aurobindo's Dream. This is the painting he submitted. You can see Sri Aurobindo here, dreaming and expecting us to help us fulfill his dream. And last but not least, Vidisha Jain, age 19, from India, an essay titled Why Didn't It Happen to Me Earlier? Well, 19 is young enough. If she has if she has got that call now, it's not too late. spiritual awakening at 19 is pretty early. So once again, to remind you, the entries for this year's competition may be sent on either of the, on not either, both these emails preferably, yes@yesspirituality.com and yes.arunimap@gmail.com by the 30th of June.
Thank you so much, sir. So we already do have so many congratulatory messages for you in the chat box, Shivani. But let's still open the session to the audience if they want to speak to you or if they want to share something. Audience, please, you can raise the hand or simply unmute yourself and speak up.
Dr. Anand Bali Yogi, I just
Namaste, sir.
say something.
Namaskaram. Congratulations, Shivani. And I cannot think of a more worthy awardee in my consciousness right now. And listening to your 10 top life lessons was truly special. And I'm happy I saw the Instagram post and that I logged in today because I admire the work you are doing, and not just the work you are doing, the way you are doing it. Because in a world which focuses on outcome, you are focusing on the process. And the process is most important as far as spirituality goes. The outcome may not be in our hand, the process is in our hand. So congratulations, Shivani, and thank you to the Yes team for selecting her, honoring her, motivating her, because I consider her as family. And so you have honored one of my family members. I know that she's also family for you. And we are all one big family. So thank you for bestowing this honor on her. And Shivani, with great honor comes great responsibility. So a bit more on your shoulders now.
Thank you so much, Anand. Thank you so much, sir. Participants, if anyone else wants to share something, please go ahead.
Marcelo, you want to say anything? Ruchi? Oh, sorry, Marcelo is coming.
Yeah,
Yes,
sorry,
Marcelo.
I'm with Maximo here, so it's morning time. So just a few words. Congratulate Shivani for your wonderful work, and you, for sure, you are, and you will be a great inspiration for other generations. In a way, listening to you, I felt very much, let's say, mirrored in you, because a lot of things you said about your journey happened to me also, more or less at the, I would say, in a younger age. So I feel that I understand you very well, and I'm very happy for that. And let's hope that, I'm sure, not the hope, that many many more people like you are doing valuable things like you do. So this is your day, so I don't want to speak too much. Congratulations again, and that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Marcelo.
Marcelo has done a lot to popularize yoga in Argentina, and he's the one who's going to evaluate the entries which we receive in Spanish.
Congratulations, Shivani. I've been a regular follower of your channel on Instagram, and I do join in the lives and the brilliant speakers and the panelists that you bring on board. So doing something Actually, as Sir said, that you're actually focusing on the process, which is very beautiful. So getting authentic teachers on board, and so that opens up a lot of big platform for all of us to consume from the right resource. So, putting up the right resources, the authentic information, and keeping it that ways. So keeping it less but true, completely authenticated channel. So that's how I look up to Hello My Yoga as. So really congratulate you for the brilliant work that you've been doing. It's really
Thank you so
inspiring.
much, Ruchi. Thank you. Thank you so much. Uh, I'll always say that the messages what we get from participants is the prana for Hello My Yoga. That helps, that fuels our team to keep working ahead. So thank you so much, Ruchi.
Me too, you want to say anything?
Congratulations, Shivani. I think I'm meeting you second time. Once fleetingly in the ashram, I met you, but yeah, today, and it is so much. I'm feeling very enlightened and very inspired because seeing you speak from the heart, I think whosoever is present as audience today, it has touched everybody. And whosoever will be seeing this video, it will touch them too. And congratulations once more. And you are really an inspiration for all of us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mituji. Thank you so, so much. And I think uh, the words you have used, inspired and enlightenment, it again gives me a more bigger responsibilities. So I'll make sure that I stay aligned with those responsibilities. I keep working in those directions, and I keep practicing yoga so that there is minimum deviations. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. Before we close today's session, let's turn to Mithudi's beautiful and soothing voice once more.
How sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed. Through many dangers, toils and snares, I have already come. 'Tis grace that brought me safe thus far, and grace will lead us home. The Lord has promised good to me. His word my hope secures. He will my shield and portion be, as long when we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun. We've no less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Thank you so much, everyone. We are really grateful to you all for your presence today. Would just like to inform that the recording of today's session will be available on our YouTube channel, Yes Spirituality. Thanks once again. We'll close today's session with a moment of peaceful silence. Namaste.